Welcome to the mic, it's the Dennis Byron Show. Breaking headlines, truth in every flow. From courtroom seats to exclusive shots. Journalism raw, yeah, Byron calls the shots. Subscribe, stay woke, now let's get in the know. It's the Dennis Byron Show. 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 Dennis Byron Show. The Dennis Byron Show. Dennis Byron Show. The Dennis Byron Show. Dennis Byron Show. Welcome to the mic, it's the Dennis Byron Show. Breaking headlines, truth in every flow. From courtroom seats to exclusive shots. Journalism raw, yeah, Byron calls the shots. Subscribe, stay woke, now let's get in the know. It's the Dennis Byron Show. Welcome to the mic.
All right, hold on. Oh yeah, we had to run that back. We had to run that back. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Okay, hold on. Shut. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Top of the morning, everyone. Top of the morning. Yeah, we up at it early. We have a special treat this morning. On a 4-part interview, we're going to play the first part that I conducted with the legendary Sean G from the podcast of Soul. He and I covered the Sean Puffy Combs trial from inside the courtroom on the ground, literally in New York City at 500 Pearl Street. The trial started May 14th. Jury selection, voir dire, then the trial. My guy Sean G was in Atlanta this past weekend, and we sat down, chopped it up, and we discussed some of the things that a lot of stuff that we saw in the trial, and it was a great build. And this is the first part of we're about to play is the first part of the interview that we did. And just lock in. But good morning, everyone. Good morning. Oh, wait, hold on. Let's see. We do. It's the time to do the roll call. Hold on. Oh, no, we didn't even tweet this out. We slipping on our pimping. We didn't even tweet this out. Oh, my goodness. Hold on. Stand by. Let me get some Twitter things going on over here. Okay. All right. We just put that in there and say that in there. It's now being tweeted. With that, we're going to start the interview. First, we need to remove that great photo of Sean and I. And move that out the way, get that up out of here. And let's go ahead and let's get it on the stage. Let's go.
So you call him Brother Love.
Oh, we got a little music to start out.
The world knows him as Sean Combs. Music mogul, fighter, survivor. They tried to take him down.
They tried.
But God had another plan.
Okay, so finally get Sean G to the headquarters, to the Byron Media Group. We covered one of the biggest trials.
The biggest
federal
trial in New York City history.
Hip hop history.
100%.
How was it for you being there?
It didn't dawn on me how big that thing was until about the third week.
The third week. Why the third week?
Because when I first went there, my initial reason for going to the trial was to hear all of the bullshit I heard about Puff for the last 7 years. That he was gay, right? That he messed with minors. Just him and these artists and these big parties and over everything that went on in these freak-offs. What they told us what a freak-off was not that.
Right.
And the more I saw Puffy's defense team crash and destroy the witnesses, the more I felt he had a chance to beat the case and that this was big.
When we heard the prosecution by way of their press conference, Damian Williams press conference, speak about entertainers and multiple entertainers, just be honest, you believe there was some high-profile celebrities involved?
1,000%. I just told you, I thought Puff, I went to hear the nonsense to put it on my channel to get views from the nonsense. I wanted to be the first one to report the nonsense. And I went there for that. The truth.
Were you surprised? You said the third week. So I was there for the jury selection.
I was there for the jury selection. You asked me, when did I think and know that it was a trial of such magnitude, the biggest, most high-profile trial in the history of the federal Southern District of New York, maybe federal courts, period, maybe in history.
It was big.
This is big. You know, I don't know OJ or this one or what.
Well, John Gotti was big, but it wasn't big like this.
John Gotti wasn't as big as Puff.
No, it wasn't. And RIP to Bruce Cutler, who passed on.
Shout out to Bruce Cutler. That's the answer to that question. But I was there for one day of the voir dire, and then I didn't go back, and I waited until Cassie got on the stand. After Cassie got off the stand that Friday, she was on there 3 days, right?
3 days, yep.
Once she got off of there that Friday, I said, somebody told a lie. Somebody didn't lie.
Let's talk about how that played out. She came in pregnant. When I saw how big she was, I said, wait a minute. And Puff, they wanted to delay. Closing was intense. Especially going home, not knowing what the jurors were thinking. And then when Mark started, first I'm gonna tell you, I don't know if you saw this, but that day that Mark was going to do his closing, he was pacing up and down towards the back of the courtroom, and I was just watching. You know, I was watching Brian before Brian, Mr. Still was going to cross-examine Mia. He was doing some type of ritual stretching, and he was just doing. I said, look at this guy, he's getting ready. You know, and then when she came in and sat down, he just went in and it was just so. And he has a technique that I appreciate.
Oh man, Brian Steele.
He has his technique.
Pro.
You know, once the jurors hear it, you know, objection, Your Honor, don't matter. The jurors heard it already.
Pro.
Masterful.
Pro.
And I actually saw more of his. You know, I watched throughout the YSL. I was covering the YSL, but I tell you, man, if the cameras were in the courtroom, it would be like incredible to see that. And I think Mark hit all the high notes. You know, I think some people had an issue with him talking about he would have taken a plea if they offered him the plea or for the Mann Act. I mean, they played the video so many times. It was like that was the foundation for the case. The 2016 video, they played it so many times.
They only played 13 seconds of it.
But they played it.
Right, but it's really a 6-minute video.
Right.
6 minutes, 38 seconds, I think.
Yeah, but slow-mo, speed up.
Yeah, just that one loop from Cassie stealing his phone and running out. Yeah, that's what happened.
In testimony, outside of Cassie.
Breonna Moblin.
Yes.
When Nicole Westmoreland put her in a full Nelson and choked her out on the stand.
Right on the stand. It was embarrassing. And
Nicole was just playing with her like a mouse play with a wounded, like a cat play with a wounded mouse. Breonna, come on now. This is what Nicole was saying. Come on now, let's be serious. You know none of this happened. And Breonna, I can't recall.
When you heard the GPS, the photos didn't match
The
up.
metadata.
The metadata didn't match up. Why did the prosecutors not see that was going to happen? Because if Puff's in New York, he can't be holding you over a balcony
In LA.
in LA.
And then in Cassie's civil suit, the balcony was at a hotel, but Brianna said it was at Cassie's crib.
Right. And then Cassie tried to clean it up.
She had that in her civil suit where she extorted Puffy for $20 million on page 119, paragraph 102.
Do you think that had the civil suit went forward, she would have prevailed? Once it's out there already, if they would have took the civil route, do you think she would have prevailed?
She who?
Cassie.
She did win. She got $20 million.
I mean, she settled. But had that went to a jury, what do you think? You think if the allegations that she made, we know we sat through the whole trial.
Probably. Because Puffy, the mainstream media and social media, they did a masterful job of character assassinating him.
Absolutely.
Yo, tease the tales, stop telling them tales. Fabricating stories just to get them clicks and sales. Talk about Diddy, but your facts don't align. Clout chasing queen, yeah, you way out of line. Media spin, you just love that drama. Trying to play judge, but you ain't know your honor. Receipts don't match, and the people can see. Stop capping for fame, keep it real like me. Yeah.
He didn't have a shot.
He did.
He didn't have a shot.
Do you think there was a miscalculation for him to decide he didn't want to pay it first, and then 24 hours later, that was powerful. I think that broke the internet.
When he settled?
When he settled, next 24 hours.
Listen, if Puff would have knew that he was going to have to end up hiring 10 lawyers, 11 lawyers, and sitting in a courtroom for 8 weeks fighting for his life, he wouldn't have settled. What he probably anticipated and what his
He would have settled.
Huh?
You say he wouldn't have settled?
He would not have settled.
Oh, if he knew that they were going to charge him anyway.
Right.
Yeah, of course.
He's thinking, all right, give me that. Get the money. All right, bye. And that was gonna be it. It was gonna be deaded. But Maureen Comey and Damian Williamson then took that civil suit and laid it as the underpinning of the criminal complaint.
Do we even know today what was in the search warrant for them to go to his house? How did they get a search warrant to go to his house? Because what was in the civil suit?
Of course. Did you read the civil suit?
I read it. You said you think the arson part, what part do you think gave them probable cause to go to a magistrate and get a warrant?
Man, all of the adjectives that lawyer used, Cassie's lawyer, Doug Wigdor Law Firm, that civil suit had on the front page, trigger warning,
I had never seen that in the civil suit.
warning, exclamation points, explicit language, you know.
I had never seen that in the civil suit.
And when you read it, it's like Jason Friday the 13th.
Yeah, it was bad.
You know, and they was coming. Once they got that, the feds was coming.
Do you think the apology they gave after the CNN leaked the video, which I think the government leaked it to CNN, that's just my position. I think
The storm may try to break the chain, but love don't fade, it still remains. Every mountain that we climb keeps the family strong through time.
You're still alive.
When the world feels cold,
Carry his name.
with hearts of gold.
Every tear will turn to flame, 'cause strength runs deep in the Combs' name. Hold your head high, don't lose your way, yeah. Even through the dark, love will lead the day.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, part 2 will be dropping at 9 a.m. Stay locked in. This was just a teaser. Stay locked in. We will be back at 9 a.m. for part 2. And then my guy, Sean G, will be playing it on his channel. His maybe play straight through, ladies and gentlemen. But we slice and dice over here. Diddy. Will Diddy be home for Christmas? What do you guys think? Will he be home for Christmas? What do you guys think? I know I've been hearing a lot of chatter about pardons. Do you think he'll get a pardon, ladies and gentlemen? Based on what Judge Subterranean said during the sentencing, his case is ripe for an appeal. The judge said, I'm going to enhance your sentence because I sat in the trial. You were acquitted. You were acquitted of these counts, but I sat in the trial. And I saw the testimony. Well, Your Honor, you sit in all trials that have jurors. Why are you making this an unconstitutional fight? A judge that has a jury seated will sit through trials and hear all kind of testimony. It's not necessary that testimony is fact, especially Mr. Combs did not take the stand. Especially, he did not take the stand. The strategy was to let them talk and let the jurors listen for themselves. This judge does not know what was in those jurors' mind. He has to go by what the verdict was. But he decided to step outside of the norm and enhance Mr. Combs' sentence based on what he saw in the trial. And this is a rookie judge, been on the bench since 2023. First RICO case of his career. He got caught up. He got caught up in the moment and decided he wanted to be a biased judge. He decided, hey, I can do it. I can do it my way. I can do it my way. The judge decided he wanted to do it his way. He had a Burger King moment. He said a lot during that sentencing. He said a lot. Even with his prepared speech at the conclusion of his quote unquote calculations. But what really rubbed me the wrong way is that this judge said he enhanced the sentence because of what he saw in the trial. What he didn't see in the trial is Mr. Combs not testifying. So are you going to penalize Mr. Combs for not testifying? He has the right to remain silent. He had the right to remain silent. So would the judge's position had changed if Mr. Combs had took the stand? Think about that. Even the attorney mom, you in the comment section. If it's not even if Mr. Combs decided not to take the stand and rely on the testimony of the government's witnesses. And that proved to be very fruitful for him in the end. The 3 counts that he was facing life was RICO, ex-trafficking ×2, and the forfeiture of his pretty much all his assets. He rolled the dice and said, I'm not taking a stand. The judge, in my humble opinion, held that against Mr. Combs because he didn't take the stand. Because you got to think about this. There were several witnesses that got on the stand, said all kinds of stuff. No one can tell me today that they believe these witnesses was telling 100% of the truth. Especially when you have a witness, Mia, who met with the government 27 times or more. Think about that. Yes, Attorney Marv, this was not a bench trial. I would have expected the judge to say this if this was a bench trial. God forbid it, Mr. Combs had a bench trial. This wasn't a bench trial. You made a very good point. Mr. Combs did not have a bench trial, and the judge wasn't in the position to make that type of statement in this case. So what? You sat there and listened to one side of the evidence. Of course, it was cross-examination and direct, but you did not hear from Mr. Combs, because perhaps if you heard from Mr. Combs, you might have formed a different opinion, which still wouldn't have been relevant because there was a jury seated. And they played with jury number 6. Juror number 6 was played with. The government decided that they need to get juror number 6 off the witness stand. Off the jury. Can anyone guess why? And Sean and I discussed this during our interview. And I didn't know Mark was from the Bronx. Mark Agniflio was from the Bronx. Juror number 6 is from the Bronx. You know how as Bronx people, we stick together. We stick together. Not in everything, but, a lot of things. But juror number 6 should have not been removed from the bench. From the jury box. Should not have been removed. Should not have been removed. That was a travesty of justice, in my opinion. A travesty. Should not have been removed. We got to do something about this, ladies and gentlemen. We have to do something about this. We have to do something about this. This was a travesty. It was a travesty. They said, Mr. Byron, how was it a travesty? Well, this judge ruled like this was a bench trial. Shout out to attorney Mom Speaks for bringing that out. This was not a bench trial. I would have never advised Mr. Combs to request a bench trial in a RICO case. Never. Never, ever. Couldn't do it. And his lawyers did right by not letting him testify. Because that video, they would have played that video. And that video would have, sorry guys. Let me see something here. Hold on here. Let's see here. Let's see what we got going on here. Hold on here. Okay, all right. All right. You're from Patterson, New Jersey, huh? Okay. Shout out to infamous Sylvia for sharing the information. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning everywhere around the world. Good morning. We here early. We here early. Okay. Patterson, New Jersey. Oh, I know a lot about Patterson, New Jersey. A lot about Patterson, New Jersey. East Orange, Patterson. My goodness. Secaucus. Oh, so are you barred in New Jersey as well? All right. Okay. All right, family. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. How's my sound, ladies and gentlemen? How's my sound? Okay. Good morning. Yeah, okay. The video should have never been omitted. See, here's the problem, and I want to talk about this. I really want to talk about this. I'm gonna show you how they play dirty. I say how they play dirty. That video, ladies and gentlemen, was leaked to the press before the trial. The video was leaked to the press before the trial. It was leaked to CNN. It was a strategic move to leak that video. How many of you think the government leaked that video? Let's be honest here. Think about timing. And how many of you think that Cassie or her team leaked the video after receiving a settlement? Which one was it? Did Diddy get the double cross in the civil settlement? Or did the government leak the video? Just think about that for a second. Let's go back to when the civil suit was filed. When it was filed. You went to Seton Hall. Shout out to Seton Hall. I thought Seton Hall's in Newark. Shout out to the graduate Seton Hall. But think about this. The government did a press conference. Damian Williams did a press conference and talked about entertainers. These big entertainers. Oh, you get a corporate attorney, you getting that paper. But there was never in that press conference a distinction between exotic dancers, male strippers, and musical or celebrity entertainers. That's what created this whole firestorm of bad information. That's what created this disastrous spectacle of news coverage. This was an incredible case for Mr. Combs to fight because he had so much going against him. And the video that CNN released. How many times, guys, if you follow the CNN network, how many times have they released a video involving a celebrity of this magnitude? I would have expected this to pop out on TMZ, but it's a reason, because I understand the media landscape very well. It's a reason why someone chose to leak it to CNN. Because it would go international. This case went international. How do I know? There were reporters from all over the world that was in New York City throughout the trial. And I'm not taking anything away from TMZ, but TMZ is not broadcast in Russia or different places. But CNN is. Okay. Oh, yeah, let me say something. Tammy Roman called me the deacon. Shout out to Paula Sanders, Deion Sanders' ex-wife. Okay, I see you. But let's be honest here. It was a lot the defense could not control because the damage was done before the trial even started. A lot of it. Absent of that video, do you think this case would have went this far? If that video was never shown, this case would not have went that far. And I don't know if there will be an investigation on who leaked the video. All we know is that it ended up on CNN. We don't know who leaked the video. I have my strong suspicions because it just made sense. It made sense from a prosecutorial standpoint to get ahead of the case. Let's poison the jury pool, allegedly. Let's do a press conference, an entire press conference. Typically, the government do press conferences at the conclusion of a trial. Think about that as well. I've covered a lot of federal cases. Prosecutors typically don't talk until after the trial has concluded. They may send a press release out and announce they've made an arrest. And I get a lot of presses from the public information officer from different jurisdictions. This one was different. This was very different. I knew this was a big case just based on the way it was being handled by the government. Then let's talk about the raids on both homes. The way the raids went down on both homes was excessive. There was a firearm put on one of the Combs kids. This was excessive. This was an excessive show of force when there was no necessity for it. How do we know this? We know this because with everything that happened, Mr. Combs turned himself in. He was in New York to turn himself in. That's why he came to New York. He wasn't trying to flee. He wasn't trying to jump on a plane. He was staying in America. Then the constant denial of bond. Constant. Meanwhile, there were two individuals or more that had SA charges, Abercrombie and Fitch. Abercrombie and Fitch. No one thought it was unusual that the defendants were able to get bonds in that case. Things were really, really, the fix was in. And I agree with you, Kane. Yes, the recordings came from Cassie's devices. But it makes you wonder, why did the government put in a forfeiture request to have 92 devices belonging to Mr. Combs forfeited, plus $9,000? My concern is he does music. I know he has music on some of those devices. Oh, I did not know that the Abercrombie and Fitch guys linked to Epstein. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This is getting weird, ladies and gentlemen. I did not know that. Oh my goodness. I mean, just based on that alone, that should raise major concern. There's a linkage there. I didn't know that. And now that I know it, I'm feeling like this. What the heck is going on? What is going on here? The only person in America in history that received such a heavy-handed prosecution and judgment. And they put the most inexperienced judge on this case. The most inexperienced in RICO, in doing a RICO case, and looking at his background from the time he did do cases, I said this judge is going to be biased. Why do I say that? Just look at his resume. Oh, okay. You know, I wanted to delve more into the Abercrombie case while I was covering the Sean Combs trial, because I had a serious uncomfortability in how these hearings, these prelim hearings were going. I said early on that I don't feel that this case is going to be fair for Mr. Combs. I said this I went on different shows and I talked about this. A lot of examples. Mr. Byron, you listen, I'm up early. I get up early anyway. We're not in the pandemic anymore. It's no need to work from home. We come into the office and we work. And I want to say this. Initially, I was comfortable after the pandemic to work from home. But it didn't feel right that I could do 4 hours or 5 hours. I can't run to the kitchen. I can't do a lot of the things at home. I mean, in the office, I could do at home. While we got microwaves and all that good stuff here, but I don't get. I wouldn't. I eat light, so I eat 1 or 2 meals a day, or maybe 2 meals. I don't do 3 meals. I gotta watch my manly figure. Enoch Vin. Did I pronounce your name right? Enoch Vin. Let me check. Enoch Vin. Look, there you go. All the charges, the jurors got it wrong, but the judge got it right. I'm gonna be respectful to you. I will be nice to you and say, shut up. You weren't in the courtroom, so stop saying just anything. The judge got it right. You weren't in the courtroom. You didn't hear the testimony. You didn't look at the witnesses. I promise you, if you would have been in the courtroom, you listened to the testimony, looked at the witnesses, you would have a different opinion, unless you came in biased. Unless you came in biased. That's right. Heavy on the shut up. Heavy on the shut up. You can't tell people to shut up. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We got former presidential candidates cussing like a storm. Shout out to Kamala Harris. We have current presidents. Don't give a darn. Listen. The current president, the former candidate for the presidency, they're out of control. So that prim and proper approach to First Amendment is history. You might just get the smoke over here. You might just get the smoke. Heavy on the shut up. Right. Yeah, well, that's what we on over here. So if you got sensitive ears, this might not be the place for you. You know, I'll be on that anyway. So listen, before it was I've been on this is say I've been on it for a while. With that. This case, I can almost guarantee you this is not the final say in the outcome. I can almost guarantee you that. I can almost guarantee you that. They'll listen. You know, we're gonna let him listen. If he gets too, if he listen, I got. It's the rocks over there. If she gets tired of him, she's gonna deal with him. So I don't worry about that. I don't worry about that. It's okay, a little trolling. A little trolling is good. But we're gonna run at 9:00 the other part to the interview. I don't want to run everything. I want Sean to get some, love over there as well, because he has the interview as well. See, because it was Sean G, I said, no, we're gonna share this. We're gonna share it. We're gonna do this together, player. This is what we do. He showed up. He showed up at the courtroom. He was on the 24th floor. I was on the 26th floor, 26A. He was on 24. We listen. We were working it. You know how I was doing? I was outside. I was inside. Hold on a second. Here. I don't want to bring that other video. Listen. Let me see if I can bring this other video. Hold on. Let me see something. Let me see if I can pull this other one up. Let's see what we got going on here. I don't know what that is. We gotta be careful there. I don't know what I'm pulling up. I don't know what it is. Yes, I do. I shot this right here. I did this. I can't see it. Well, I can't see it. What the heck?
Quincy, a positive thumbs up for the cameras. Quincy.
What the heck going on there?
King.
What the heck? What they got going on there? That should have popped up on the screen. Come on, stream y'all. What you guys doing over there? That should have been on the screen. Don't play with it. Okay. In any event, we have some technical difficulties here. Let's see if I can pull it up over here. It's not a big file, so I can't know what the heck going on here. Let's see here. It should go right there. Let's see, Ray. We can add it right there. It should be able to take it over there. Stand by, guys. Stand by. Oh. Hold on a second. No. Oh no, it's not gonna pop up for whatever reason. HBCU. Sean G did his thing. Of course he did. That's my guy. That is my guy. And he was actually in town for the Morris Brown homecoming. He was in town for that. I said, "Yo, Sean, you're in my city. Pull up. Pull up." I said, "I'm working on the weekend. Come on in now. Come on in there." He was actually, let me see, the first one that we interviewed at the new office. The first one, I believe. He's the first drop that we did. Absolutely, there was no sex trafficking, none. They threw the book at him. The book was thrown at Sean Combs. It was a fix from the very beginning. No bond, no bond. Listen, just think about this. And I'm gonna have to call this. This was about race. This was about race and power. Diddy had the resources to fight this case. Imagine if someone with little means had to go up against the government. It would have been awful. It would have been awful. It would have been a bloodbath. So when you hear the judge say something to the effect that he's going to acquitted conduct, he's going to consider acquitted. Think about this for a second. As a American, someone who respects the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, you have a judge who says that he is going to consider acquitted conduct. So what is the benefit of getting an acquittal in a charge if a judge is going to sit around and say, hey, I heard the evidence, but you weren't one of the jurors. You were not one of the jurors who was supposed to consider all the evidence. That's where the problem comes in at. Now, if there was a request for a directed verdict of acquittal, if that had been made, which I believe it was, then you can make your reasoning known there why you would not give a directed verdict of acquittal on the counts. This judge was biased, ladies and gentlemen. I stick with that belief. He was biased. And because of his biasness, this case should be overturned, in my humble opinion. You have the least experienced judge doing the most egregious, making the most egregious ruling in the biggest trial in hip hop and in the Southern District of New York. He was doing too much. He was doing too much. And I'm going to stand on that. I'm going to stand on that. I hear lawyers, shout out to Mr. Greenberg. Mr. Greenberg was on the R. Kelly trial, and he represented R. Kelly. Hold on a second here. Hold on a second here. Hold on a second here. Okay. Did I hear anything? I would say I can't say. Oh my goodness. Where did you hear that at? Who told you that? Do tell. Who told you that? Listen. Don't come over here trolling with a fake account, because we know we're gonna take. Listen, we're gonna take that out of there. You know what pissed me off? When people start saying, hey, there were kids involved. Do you think this prosecution would have not filed an amended or a superseding indictment if their children were involved? They dug all over the place. It's not happening. It was never about any kids. That's all, in my opinion, lies. It's a money grab. They just did anything. There are people that I didn't even talk about the lawsuits that got kicked down the road. I didn't want to embarrass them, but there were lawsuits just got dismissed left and right. And Puff turned around and sued a large media outlet and an attorney. And he's coming for more people by way of his attorneys. Enough of this filing lawsuits because it is financially beneficial to make false claims. Imagine how many people would think twice if they knew that they would go to jail for making false allegations. Attorney Mom, when did you hear that, Attorney Mom? When did you hear that? Attorney Mom, when did you hear that? When did you hear that? How are you going to tell me to Google it? How are you going to tell me to Google it? But I know some things. I'll just leave it at that. I know some things. But I can't say yet. I know some things. But we still got to talk about this. This left-wing judge, I'm gonna go there. Don't let me not go there. Oh my goodness. Listen, what did I tell you? Don't come in promoting your propaganda over here. Don't do that. I don't want to put you on timeout, but I'll put you on a timeout. We're not going to talk about Blackburn now. It's lawyers like Blackburn that gives real lawyers a bad name. I'm listen. I mean, what didn't he have a little altercation with the process server in New York? Because I know I heard that when I was in New York. Listen, Attorney Mom, go ahead, Google it, grab the link, post it in the comment section. That's what you got to do. Go ahead and grab that link, post it in the comment section, and I can just click on it. But it has to come from a reliable source. I just said you could. I think, wait, did I disable that? I don't know. I might have disabled that. I may have had that disabled. Dang. You can put it, listen, you can put that in the private. Send me the private chat. You can put that in the private chat. You put that in the private chat. Send me a private chat. It just makes sense. It just makes sense. It just makes sense. It just makes sense. Oh my goodness. Okay, let me see here. Let me see. You see, you put in it. I don't see no private messages. Okay, let's see. Private chat. Let's see. Let's see here. Girl, ain't nothing in my private chat. Oh, wait. Yeah, maybe. What's that? Let's see. Hold on. Let me see something here. Let's see here. Ain't nothing in my private chat. Why you playing with me? Why you playing with me? Why you playing with me? Ain't nothing in my private chat. I ain't see nothing laid up in my private chat. All right, guys, we got to get ready for our part 2. You did? That thing didn't show up. My goodness. I believe you, Attorney Mom. Copy and paste it in the comment section. Let's see if it pops up that way. See if it can pop up that way. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can get my brother on the line here. Hold on a second here. Let me see if I can get my brother on the line here. I'm gonna do it. Let me see if he picks up. Hold on a second here. Hold on. Let's see. I can get him in here.
Yo, Dennis, what's up?
Good morning, my brother Sean G. We are live in the studio. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the incredible Sean G. My coffee is better than his, but we'll talk about that later. Sean, I ran part 1. Say good morning to the people.
Good morning, everybody.
So my brother Sean G came down here. He literally cooked in this interview, and I appreciate him so much. And I want everyone, they're asking about you, my brother. They've been asking about you.
Okay. Well, they're gonna get to see it today.
Yes. And like I said, he's running the interview. I mean, his camera was better than mine that day.
Yeah.
But Sean, there's been a lot of talk. I got an attorney in the chat talking pardons. Have you heard any chatter about pardons?
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot about that.
Okay, all right. Okay.
I've been hearing a lot about that.
See, you got the goat. The goat's heard as well. The goat has heard it as well.
Thank you, Dennis. Yo, y'all got to check this interview out. We did, man. We sat down. We went to 12:30 in the morning. We were done. It was midnight when we got done. We started about 11.
It started about 11. I don't think you left.
Actually, after 10:30 because it was an hour and a half video.
Hour and a half. I mean, and we worked late, brother. Listen, we worked off the dome. No pre-prepared questions.
No.
And listen,
all impromptu, all unrehearsed, live.
You got a spot here when you come down. Whenever you come down here,
Thank you, man.
You good. My lighting is good too, by the way.
Ain't no question. Your lighting is better than mine for sure.
No, okay, your camera's better than mine. No. Listen, I need to have a camera operator that day, but we're so late. Listen, I ain't paying double time for. We ain't doing all that.
No. It's good as long as the content. We got the footage, so.
Yes, sir.
And it's the message that's in the content.
The message is powerful. The message is powerful. My brother, I look forward to watching you do your thing later on today. I did part 1. We're going to do a part 2 at 9:00.
All right, cool. I'm going to drop mine about noon.
And I'm going to fall back. That's what I'm going to do. My brother, I appreciate you. Thank you for allowing to take the call, my brother. I appreciate you. All right now. Bye-bye. See, I thought. Wait, hold on. How did I thought you kicked him out of here? He back. Oh, what the heck? He's back. We gotta get him back out of here. Wait a minute. Listen to it. Diddy. Can't you see free? See, don't do that. Don't do that. You had me flowing for a second. I ain't doing that. But since you like music, we're gonna give you a little music, ladies and gentlemen. Since he like a little music, we're gonna give him a little music here. Just a little bit, not too much. We're going to do this one right here. This one. I love this one here. This is dedicated to Combs family, particularly Sean Combs. Here we go.
They tried to break him down, but he stood tall. The jury heard the truth.
Just called it Rico time. Damien and Maureen tried to paint the crime, but the people spoke. They saw through the plan. 12 peers in that box had a different stand. YouTube chatter, lies on the stream. Teaser and jeans selling fraudulent dreams. But clout can't shake a courtroom's ground. The verdict spoke loud. Truth had been found.
To break him down, but he stood tall. The jury heard the truth.
can't change fate. God's plan bigger than robes and ties. No man outruns what the Lord supplies. Through the storm, through the darkest fight, faith keeps burning, shining the light. From the cell to the sky, his spirit's not gone. One day he'll walk free, victory's song.
Can't silence the voice, can't kill the flame.
That sounds the voice. You cannot kill the flame.
But the world knows his name.
Y'all know his name. Fuck that ass.
Fall flat, the truth holds strong. History remembers.
History remembers. Yes, yes. Yes, they did. He sure did. They heard it. Yes.
He's not free yet, but the day will come soon. Sean Combs is rising like the sun and the moon.
Shout out to the songwriter, yours truly.
But the day will come soon.
Yes, everybody.
Home is waiting under God's tomb, yeah.
Shout out to the songwriter. Shout out to my team. Written, co-produced by yours truly, Dennis Byron. Wait till the video gets done. Oh my goodness. Run it back. Hey. All right. Oh, wait, hold on. No. Hold on. I can't give you too much now. That's right. She said, I love the song The Devil Tried It by Anthony Q. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Yes. Listen. It's some things I want to say I can't say just yet. I just can't say just yet. Real soon, I will be able to say something. Just not yet. Just not yet. But remember the day. Tuesday, October 14th. Remember this day. Some of you might know. Some of you do know. You're just not on YouTube. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you coming in for the 8 o'clock, 7 a.m. turn up. We got to get ready for part 2. Stand by, ladies and gentlemen. Stand by. We'll be back at 9 a.m. With that, we're going to take it out of here. Hold on. Which one are we going to rock out with? This is my other joint. I should try my other joint on you guys. Do I want to play this one? Oh, no. You're not ready for that. You're not ready for that yet. You're not ready for that. We'll just do this one. Let's go.
Some of you call him Diddy.
Hey.
Some of you call him Puffy.
Mm-hmm.
Some of you call him Brother Love.
Yeah.
But the world knows him as Sean Combs. Music mogul, fighter, survivor. They tried to take him down, but God had another plan. They could end a king, but the truth won't hide. They painted stories, tried to write your fate, but the jurors saw through, it wasn't too late. Aram Subramanian with his foot on the scale, but God runs the court and his truth won't fail. You built an empire, you gave the world sound. Now the same world's waiting to see you rebound. You hold your head high, puffy, you're not alone. The people know the truth, one day you'll be home.
Yes, you will.
They tried to break you,
They did.
but the jury stood strong.
Sure did.
Justice louder than a judge is wrong.
Judge is wrong.
From Harlem to the charts, your legacy's wide. They can cage a man's body, but not his pride. Brother love spirit can't be contained. Your name's etched forever in the Hall of Fame. The
True.
system's heavy, it was built to crush. But faith beats fear when you trust enough. The world's still vibing to the tracks you made. And your victory echoes, it'll never fade. But not guilty on the RICO. Truth had the floor. They tried to write an ending, but God wrote more. Stand tall, Sean Combs, your crown's still near. The world's got your back, your freedom is clear. Oh, head high, Diddy, you're not alone.
Let's go.
People know the truth, one day you'll be home.
Yes, yes.
They tried to break you.
They tried 'em.
The jury stood strong.
They sure did.
Justice louder than a judge is wrong.
Judge Aaron Surremian, you're wrong.
The love, the fight ain't done, but victory's yours and the war is won. One day soon you'll walk back free, cause no man's bigger than God's decree.
Hell yeah. Listen, I'm taking you out of here. See, you doing too much now. You're doing too much. Now you're out of here. You got the warning. You got the warning. You can just chill. We out, ladies and gentlemen. We out.
It's the Dennis Byron Show, breaking headlines, truth in every flow, from courtroom seats to exclusive shots. Journalism raw, yeah, Byron calls the shots. Subscribe, stay woke, now let's get in the know. It's the